I'm just waiting. At this point, it's just waiting now. You're baby faced. Your face is a little red from the I don't know from the cold. Wearing a Happy Tree Friends shirt. That's it. That's all it is.
I'm probably a little sweaty because I had to unclog the toilet, and that was quite the adventure.
Jesus Christ, Joe.
I'm There's something weird with it where it keeps running and it won't let me flush while it runs, and I'm trying to pull up the little thing, and it's still running on me. So that's if any plumbers, big face of the franchise fans, go ahead, head in, DM me, give me some love. I could certainly use it. It's been a debacle going here, but yeah, no, I've been trying to get back on my alpha grind, dude. I've been trying to, we got Chunky Joe back, so me unclogging the toilet, first step to working out. And be an alpha Joe about 65 pounds like I was back in 2016.
Or you feel like you got to just start watching like Ronnie Coleman videos or like Jay Cutler videos where they're just yelling at weights like to be lifted, and it's just
I am a
that's just
glutton
how
for
you do
verbal
it.
abuse and just abuse in general, so that's definitely something I'd be open to.
I mean, it's not like they're yelling at you; they're yelling in general just to pump themselves up. I mean, you could take the yelling route. You could definitely take the yelling route. I'm just saying, in certain scenarios, that's where it's at.
Listen, all I know is Chunky Boy for life is back. I don't need him back. So if whatever it takes, if it takes someone telling me it's nothing but a peanut, right in my face, and that's what I'll do. That's
Come
how
on,
I'll
man.
become the alpha Joe that
That's
everyone needs
it.
me to be.
That's all
I
you
got
need.
as you mentioned, the Blood Orgy Christmas Critters crew neck right here, looking good. That is my fantasy football team name, always in every single league.
Every single league. I'm in this
Every
dude's.
single league.
I'm in like 2 leagues with this dude. It's the same guy. I don't even need to know who that is. I'm just like, oh, that's Joe's team. It's like
And
that's
I'll
it.
do it in leagues where I know two people at most. And yeah, it's my calling card.
I mean, yeah. If you have a calling card, why not? You know what I mean? Just make like it's crazy because I didn't know the origin of it, and it's funny that you brought it up, and I was like, oh shit, nice. I was like, that's shit. That's the nice shit right there.
There's nothing
Didn't know.
like some happy Christmas critters that simply just want to bring about day's end and worship Satan all through a blood orgy. So to me, that's pretty inspirational. To me, that's pretty
That's
special.
crazy.
And to me,
That's
that was
crazy.
motivation. Thank you guys for being patient. I know I've been out. I just want to dress a super quick nude. Had some family stuff that kept me out for all December. So that's straight up what it was. And just going to continue to try to be the best to be consistent I can for you. I've told you guys this a million times. I'm going to do what I can, and that's all I can do, baby boo.
At the end of the day, man, like you're back. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
I'm glad everything is turning back to normal, hopefully, and that's all. We're gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna get too into your personal life. You
don't want to
like I
talk
said,
about how I was getting broken up with as a tire went flat at the same time, making me miss the
again,
podcast.
not my listen. As much as we talk about us being friends and brothers and all that stuff, I'm still ain't gonna talk about your shit. You talk about your shit, bro.
We'll leave it right at that. For new face of the franchise listeners, that story I just briefly mentioned is me in a nutshell. But we're not here to talk about me. We're not here to talk about my personal life. We're not here to talk about Nude's personal life. But there is somebody that unfortunately in a way, his personal life did get very involved, and no turn completely serious. It's a horrible transition into an incredibly serious topic. Nude, I'm just going to speak a little bit on it, and I know you have a lot to say on this. Before, first things first, good news. Damar Hamlin has been discharged and is now home, recovering with family. So that is honestly the best news that I've heard in a long, long time about anything. So that this is a huge sigh of relief. Me and Nude, and Nude, stop me if you don't want me to share this or cut this out, but we did have a pretty emotional phone conversation when that occurred.
No. I mean, no. I mean, like you could talk about it. I don't think it was bad. I don't think we said anything bad, did we?
No, I didn't. I said it was a pretty emotional conversation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, keep going. I mean, if you want me to jump in, I can. But if you want to, keep going,
I just want to make sure you're cool with me. I didn't think you cared, but I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, go for it.
I would say we were both pretty upset. We were both viscerally angry, heartbroken. I think we both shed a couple tears during that conversation what occurred, because and I'm going to say this really fast, and then I'll let you go, King. And that is the initial response by the NFL of the expectation that players were going to go back out there after 5 minutes of warming back up is the most despicable, disgusting, deplorable, gut-wrenching, absolutely pull my fucking heart out and stomp on it thing that has ever occurred. This is a game that we said on that phone conversation that we love, that we grew up with, may have not been very skilled at, but that we grew up with and loved and have watched and lived and breathed and made this what we want to truly do, commentate on this game and analyze this game. That's what we want to do with our lives. And to see something like that happen was like having, and maybe, whatever. Hit me, I'm being over dramatic, but it was like a piece of me ripped out.
You're not. I mean, we talked about it on the phone. I did shed tears. I was upset. I was pissed. The reason why it's like a glitch in the system. Like we watched millions of football games. We played a million football games. We done turkey bowls, blah, blah, blah. Never in our lives did we ever think an occurrence like this happened. Now, it reminded me of like when Shazier went out, like when he basically like destroyed his back and we didn't know if he was going to walk again, stuff like that. That was the absolute, like in my brain, the worst thing that could ever happen. You just take a bad hit. You're not going to be able to walk again, your neck, whatever. A guy from Rutgers, I forgot his name, couldn't walk again after a hit for him. So I'm like, those are the situations that I thought the worst. Never in my life did I ever think I'm going to watch a football game with the outcome being one guy taking a hit like that and then falling to the ground where they need to administer CPR. They need to take him to the hospital. He needs on a ventilator. He can't breathe on his own, stuff like that. It was a scary sight. A lot of my friends brought up to Eric. I think I told you to look at it. A soccer player for the Swiss team had the same thing. He had basically cardiac arrest. Fainted on the. He was pronounced dead at one point, and they brought him back to life. So it's like those situations are just scary in the sense of like anything can happen at any time.
I think there's a hockey player that was on the internet too that got the same thing on the Stars.
Oh yeah, and then everything. I mean, and then I have to hear political views after, and then you're so pissed about it. They're like, can we just leave political views out of it about certain things, and you're just bringing it up because people are finding now videos about dudes in college basketball. One guy had cardiac arrest. There's apparently a reporter who had she fainted on screen, a comedian who fainted after she made a joke about Jesus, and all these different things. I'm like, listen, man, it just proves one thing. You can die at any time. Anything can happen at any time. Make sure you have your blessings and stuff like that, and just live your life, but be careful, be cautious, because again, tomorrow is not promised. You're not promised to walk back through that door once you leave for the day. All that shit. So just count your blessings. Don't take things for granted. Now, in the sense of this situation, I want to commend a lot of people. Mainly the people I want to commend, first responders, of course, people who administrated everything, but Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor.
1,000%.
Zach Taylor could be the absolute biggest dickhead in the world and say, hey, Sean, if we win this game, we beat Baltimore and you guys lose next week, we get the number 1 seed or we get the number 2 seed. We'd rather play the Dolphins or the Steelers or the Jets more than the Ravens twice or the Chargers. I mean, obviously.
He could have been villain number 1. He could have been biggest dickhead in the world.
Biggest dick. He's like, man, he's okay.
Goodell and Snyder, move aside.
Yeah. Yeah. First, Sean McDermott saying, no, my guy is more important in this game. Fuck that. Zach Taylor's having the wherewithal to say, hey, we're going to follow your lead. Because, if it was my guy, I'll do the same thing. The most that, I feel like every fan base would do it. But the fact that the Bengals fan base were right there with the Bills the entire time, they made sure everything was okay. I not once did I see a Bengals fan say, "Oh, they should play the game. We're getting blah blah blah." We'll get into the situations this past weekend, but in that situation, nobody was thinking about the game. I appreciate it. Now, you brought up a good point. Whoever's told them that 5 minutes and warm up, whatever. Everybody's giving me 12 different answers.
Right.
One guy's told me, "Hey, it's protocol. Shit happens." Like they didn't really think like they were just going off their training. It's a scary sight. They went to default mode.
Okay.
Roger Goodell apparently was not in charge of whatever happened. It was Troy Vincent. That's why Troy Vincent said some things, and Troy Vincent was the one who was on the phone when they called them and say, "Hey, we're not going." McDermott and Taylor, and I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to go and figure this all out, and apparently there is no rule about any of this because nobody thought about this. Nobody thought about any of this shit. So I'm upset because when you're the head of the committee, whether you're Troy Vincent, whether you're Roger Goodell, whether you whoever, you need to have every possible scenario planned out. Every single one. The NBA has it, the NHL has it, the English Premier League has it. You have to have everything down to a T. You can't just make shit fly by night, man. Like that's just not how that works. You need to make sure everybody understands.
Every situation needs to be accounted for.
It is a contact sport.
Head of a multi-billion-dollar corporation, which Troy Vincent is technically a big part of.
Yeah.
You need to prepare for that. That's unexcusable. I don't care. Look up every medical, maybe insane, but look up every possible medical situation in the book and prepare for that.
Well, you're right. I mean, we're here saying, like, yes, we watched the sport not thinking this shit would happen. We watched the whole week this past week and nothing happened. But it could happen. That's the thing. Even if it's a minute, it's like the Batman thing where he's like talking about Superman. He's like, whether he has a 0.0001% chance of destroying everything, I can't take that risk. Like, I have to make sure. Which
essentially was about the same percentage chance of what happened to Damar.
Exactly. And then you have all these dickheads talking about like Roger Goodell saying, "Oh, like we basically giving himself a pat on the back," and it's just like, bro, you didn't do jack. Like all that happened was two coaches saying, "Hey, we love our players more than this game. We don't care about the number 1 seed. Chiefs, you can have it. Us two, we're gonna figure it out from here." Now, the Bengals did get screwed. Let's not just jump away from that. Bengals did get screwed because if they lose that game to the Ravens, there's a coin flip.
Before we get into that, can I just say one more thing?
Go ahead.
And that my bottom line on this whole thing is very simple. We were talking about a man's life. We were talking about a human being's life. So at what point do people, and what point in society did we reach, and we have been there for a while, that your political take is now more important than what happened to this human being's life. Your political take now has to be the center of attention. Your feeling of that the game should go on now should be the center of attention. Your whatever
fantasy team. Let me tell you, no, this is the whole kit and caboodle. I had some people, I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to say anything. There were people asking 12 million different questions about fantasy. Multiple people saying, "What do I do?" Blah, blah, blah. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay, I get it. FanDuel and all that stuff. DraftKings, they gave the bet back. I don't know what to do in fantasy football. I am not Yahoo. I am not ESPN. I am not CBS Sports, wherever the fuck you play it. They'll figure it out when they figure it out. We're worried about a guy who's on a ventilator. I literally thought about, like, all the times I played sports, and I used my fucking literally my brain to block people, to hit people. I'm like, dude, like, that could have, I mean, like I said, it could be any of us who have played it, who did anything at the highest level. And it's just like, bro, at the end of the day, this place is selfish. This whole situation, I mean, some people are just selfish by nature, and that's human nature. But at the same time, like, have some compassion. And I watched this Denzel thing.
You'd like to think there'd be a moment of human decency left in some people, and some people don't.
Some people rush to different emotions when they're upset, and sometimes it's selfishness, sometimes it's anger, sometimes all these different things, and people just rush to being angry, and that's what happened to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless didn't really. I looked at the tweet again.
It's a poorly worded tweet. But
It's
he
just
never
poorly
said
worded.
Stacey
He didn't
Eugene
say
was-
anything bad. Like, if
Right.
you read it 12 million times, he really just was saying, like, it's like, man, like, I hope he's okay, basically. And then
He
said
basically
something.
said everything else, playing the game, continuing on, is irrelevant. Let's
But-
worry about tomorrow.
Exactly. Bingo.
But the internet's going to spin and spun and tear you apart because now we can go ahead
They
and
have
we
emotions.
someone to be pissed at. So now we have someone to
Exactly.
take their emotions
I'd
out
rather
at.
be angry than upset, than figuring things out. And
Then
that's what Skip was the scapegoat. And I hate to say it. Then this whole thing was Shannon. And it's just like, bro, like, this is the world we live in. And like, to be honest, it showed its ugly face, and it's great. Like, ugly face from that nature, great face in the sense of raising money for Damar's charity, Bengals fans, everybody's fans, his teammates, like Kenny Pickett talked about him. Who else? Miles Sanders talked about him because they play football together. Every single person. Like I said, everybody has a way of dealing with things. If you are a selfish person, I pray for you, because
Go fuck
God
yourself
forbid.
and die in a hole if you
Well, see,
complain
Joe's gonna
about
take
your
that route.
championship or
Joe-
vaccines when that
Joe,
happens.
Joe will take. I will say
Go
fuck
yourself and die in a hole if you complain about championships or vaccines in that moment.
I'm not gonna get political. But I'm
Well,
gonna get
right,
political.
you shouldn't have. That's my point. They should.
I'm gonna get political for all the
It's
people
not
who.
political. It's just me saying no one should have gone that route.
Anyways, let's
That's
go
not political.
before we get into deep diving of something else. Next,
Hey, I'm just
thank
saying.
God. Damar's good. He's gonna hopefully be at the game this Saturday. Bills by 1 million. Skylar Thompson has no chance. There you go.
Listen, all I was saying was that there was a man's life to focus on, and that's what
Exactly.
Anything else is just disgusting. It's
Binary.
not political. It is not about your fantasy championship. It's not about you owning Skip Bayless. It's about this man's life. And that, but a lot, I will say, majority of people realize that there were a couple a couple trolls in the corner of a dark, deep hole that felt differently.
Yeah.
But tis what it is. Bills by 1,000 against the Dolphins this weekend.
There you go.
Next up, another sour story. They come for the bits and they leave when we get serious. But Peyton Ellis is in critical condition after saving 2 kids from drowning. I did want to touch on this a little bit as well, Nude.
Yeah, of course.
Peyton, man, Madden 2012 cover, never forget. A lot of love to number 40. He was the true definition of grit and grind running back. And he's still obviously way more of a tremendous person off the field. And you gotta give love for that. So I just want that little recognition. We don't got to spend too much time on it. But
No. I just want to say, like, I think he got lost because of the whole Damar thing, and that's just how it is. And I mean, he saved his kid's life, and that's just all you can say. I mean, I hope he's okay. Apparently, he's doing better. And like you said, grit and grind. People forget he did bounce around after the after the Browns. He went to the Broncos and the Giants. And hey, man, saving your kid's life, that's a hero to me, like, without a doubt. So I hope he comes out of this okay. Let's not forget about him. Now that Damar is okay, let's change our focus. So.
Yeah, prayers for both, and focusing now on Peyton getting out of critical condition, just like Damar has. So, and way less serious of topics, the coaching guillotine. For a cringy transition for you, Nude, coaching guillotine has begun. We've had a couple of heads chopped off. I believe we did take our sabbatical or our December off while Hackett was fired. That was, I mean, everyone saw that coming. Cliff Kingsbury, I still feel like that man can run an offense. Go get an offensive coordinator job somewhere. Many disagree with me. And Lovie Smith, who just didn't get a fair shot. There was obviously a lot of things about the Rooney Rule on the internet when he got fired. Didn't get a whole thing to develop. I think what he was doing with that team, they were growing confidence. It seemed like Mills was starting to develop in the way that you wanted him to. And they were, let's face it, the last couple of weeks of the season, that Texans team looked pretty decent. I think it was a little bit too soon of a move to cut Lovie, but with all that being said, one man who still does have his job, and Cliff Kingsbury will not be taking his job, is the wonderful, the wonderful, the grand, the fantastic Matt Canada.
Stop.
Still has an offensive coordinator job with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, because you brought it up. All right.
Because I happened to mention it.
Scott Turner fired. Awful offensive coordinator. You could agree because he was the Commanders' offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Mike,
I didn't even want to mention that. Who cares?
Mike LaFleur, awful offensive coordinator. Jets fired. Who else? There was 2 other guys.
I did miss the coordinators, I will say. Yeah.
There was 2 other offensive coordinators. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Oh, Downey from the Titans, who we tied with, probably least amount of points scored. Red zone efficiency probably at the bottom. Plays ran down the field probably at the bottom. It's been 4 days. I don't know what you're waiting for. Fire him. And then there was something online where I saw if we fire him, we are in the absolute number 1 running for Frank Wright or Brian Leftwich. 2 guys that I've been banging my drum from. But guess what? I've lost hope. Even if we fire Canada, I don't believe in those 2 are coming because Mike Tomlin is going to do that egotistical thing that he does all the fucking time. I'm going to promote within. The guy, there's a QB coach named Mike Sullivan down there. Who
not Mike
is working
Sullivan.
with Kenny Pickett. He's working with Kenny Pickett, and mark my words, right now, brother, right now, he is probably going to be the offensive coordinator if Mike Canada's fired. Because the other two are too smart of a move for fucking Mike T over there. Mike T, top 3 head coach of all of in this realm, in this right now. I would put Andy Reid and Bill Belichick. That's it. He's top 3. He is bottom 3 in choosing coordinators.
Can I ask you something? And sorry to interrupt your rant there, buddy. But Habibi, let me ask you a question. What is it with the Steelers fan? They defend this guy, but then don't defend this guy at the same time.
He has his problems. It's like Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has his problems. He's a dictator, but he's a good coach. Andy Reid, he's fat, and he might die on the sidelines, but he's great.
Don't fat shaming here, Habibi. Look at both of them. You can't
Pete Carroll.
We both had a couple cheeseburgers too.
I'm just saying, like, each coach has their problem, all right? And I'll defend Mike. I don't want Mike Tomlin fired. Are you crazy? Some guys want Mike Tomlin fired, and that's stupid.
Right. But it's just how in one breath. I get it. All coaches have their flaws. But also at the same time, this guy continues to, promote within, continues to kind of seem like his word is law, continues to kind of seem
it's
like
not
he's
the
running
word.
a dictatorship. But the difference between him and Tomlin, or the difference between Belichick and Tomlin, is a very easy answer, right? There's much more higher results for Belichick with his ways than there is Tomlin. There's got to be a certain amount of time when you're just kind of saying, hey,
because here's the problem.
We've given this guy such a long leash, we've lost the dog.
Who are you talking about? You're talking about Mike Tomlin?
I'm talking about Mike Tomlin. I think you've given him
Time out. Hold on.
enough leash.
Give him Tom Brady. Give him fucking Tom Brady and a defense that did all that shit. And then see what happens. Sorry that we had that fat fuck who said he didn't know how to read defenses until 2012. Ben Roethlisberger didn't read
I've never
defenses.
seen you triggered faster.
No,
and I said some wild shit.
Every day, every night, I see mediocre Mike, blah, 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 blah. What do you want the guy to do? Like, the guy had a broken Ben Roethlisberger, took him to the playoffs. 1 year he had Duck Hodges starting at quarterback. They were 8-8. Like, you can't ask better than Duck Hodges to go 8-8. Like, and fucking the 1 year they went 11-0. And yes, the running game was shit. And again, the OC needs to figure out a way to make that happen. Like, Mike Tomlin can't call plays. Like, what do you want him to do? He can't do everything. And then this year, we had Kenny Pickett. We didn't start Kenny Pickett right away. We were 2-6, and then we became 9-8.
You didn't even want to start Kenny Pickett. I won't even give you shit about that because that's not the type of man I am. We're having a positive.
No, I didn't want to start Kenny Pickett.
You didn't even want beefy hands, Kenny.
No, I said let's see what Mitch can do. Mitch sucked dick, and like I said, and then Kenny started 9-8 from 2-6. That's a great coaching job. Sorry, that fucking Bill Belichick, the guy you guys are talking about, this guy made the playoffs one time. And then he does what? He makes a defensive coordinator.
Who are you lumping me in with? There's just me here right now.
No, you're just over here talking about where's the results. The results is in the pudding, my guy. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers had to.
Nude. Let me clarify. I just said the thing that I think would trigger you the most. All right, I'll unveil the veil. I'll unveil the bit. I know Tomlin's a great coach.
No shit.
I know Tomlin's a great coach. I think the only
yes.
thing I was saying in a half kind of joking way was that sometimes this is the way I should have phrased it. This guy gives so much leash to other guys.
Yes.
And eventually it feels like you're giving him too much of a leash.
100%.
And then there's dogs all over the kennel taking over the kennel.
100%. It's not him taking – like the problem is he wants to do it because he feels like the Brian Flores thing was the first time I was like, wow, what the fuck? That is not Tomlin. That's great. Let's continue this.
Yeah.
That part of me believes that we can get Frank Wright or Brian Leftwich. But that part of me is like 2%. Like, and Mike Sullivan is about to be our offensive coordinator. Now, granted, we're on this rant now, and I don't want to make it a Steelers show because I got to talk about this weekend too. So
you want to talk about vaccines again instead?
We'll talk.
We'll talk about. You ran to the corner. You ran to the corner of that room.
I'm not. I just did not want to say things that would shut us down, and I get clipped on fucking Twitter or Instagram saying these guys.
Dude has been attempted to be canceled a couple times at this point.
At this time, I'm pretty sure there's 4 or 5 people.
He was almost canceled by Thoughtology.
Oh my God! Don't get me. When I said something about myself, not other people. I said myself. Anyway, don't get me started.
And somehow I'm just simply saying that shouldn't be anybody's concern, and it's going to be twisted. Nude says that you shouldn't take vaccines.
I thank God I'm the one that makes the trailer. Thank God I'm the one that makes the trailer. Lovie Smith, on the other hand, that shit is shitty. It just proves that the Houston Texans they weren't serious about him at all. The guy gave him a big fuck
serious?
you.
I gotta give you a second. You're getting serious now.
I'm getting serious. He gave him a big fuck you out the door, winning that game, not getting the number 1 overall.
Just don't let the dogs all over the kennel.
That's awesome. I love Lovie Smith.
Vaccines.
Lovie Smith winning that game was the best fuck you I've ever could think of from a coach, and that's great. And Nathaniel Hackett, we knew that was coming. I expect, and here are three firings. Ready? After this weekend, you heard it here first.
Okay. Inside scoop. Inside scoop. Newbie, the insider.
Did I say 3? No, I'm just going to.
This is why you need to start drinking Red Bull and coffee, bro.
No, it's because I'm thinking about 2 other teams, but I think they're going to keep their guy. I think they're going to keep
some brain fog.
I think Josh McDaniels is going to be fine, and I think what's his name? And
long COVID because you didn't take your vaccine.
Fuck off. And
I missed doing the podcast.
And I think your boy Ron Rivera is going to be okay. I think both of them are going to be fine, and I think the guy who's going to get fired though.
Yeah, I don't know if I call him my boy right now, but yeah.
Brandon Staley is going to get fired. If they lose this game in Jacksonville, Brandon Staley is going to get fired because one, this will make it. He did not make the playoffs the first 2 years with. Yep. Everybody's talking about an all-star quarterback, a one-generation quarterback with Burrow and Mahomes. Put him in that elite. And if you lose to Jacksonville, I'm not saying Jacksonville is bad. I'm just saying
good, dude.
I mean, we'll talk about it later where we think they're good. But our prediction, Brandon Staley's going to get fired. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. So you got Staley getting fired. You said you had 3. What's the other 2?
No, I said Josh. I took it back because Josh McDaniels and Ron Rivera are going to be fine.
Me.
No,
Ron Rivera will not be fired. Ron Rivera, I will say right now, he will not be fired. I agree with you.
Oh, you know what? Actually, there's another one because of this Sean Payton rumor. If Mike McCarthy loses on Monday night, and Sean Payton loves he started with the Cowboys. He was Bill Parcells' bitch. If he goes there, if he's like fire Mike McCarthy, I'm going to go there. They're going to do it without a doubt.
All right. So we'll see. We'll see if hot take nude inside.
Those 2 are my hot takes. Those are 2 of my hot takes. I don't think Brandon Staley's a hot take. I think the Sean Payton to Dallas if McCarthy leaves or he forces their hand. Yes, it'd be funny as fuck if he said, hey, fire him. I'll come. He doesn't come. He goes to like Arizona, which is funny.
Yeah, I would check on me as soon as possible if that happens.
Yeah. Oh,
but with that,
by the way, I forgot one more. Cliff Kingsbury, fuck that guy. He's just handsome. Go ahead.
You're just hating on hot guys. You always have hot guys.
He's gonna be apparently the Patriots are doing their homework on him to be the offensive coordinator. I think he's gonna be a good offensive coordinator. Don't see a problem with that.
We didn't reach our peak chemistry until I gained 50 pounds. Let's just be once I became an unhot guy.
So you're telling me Kingsbury and Murray would have been fine if he just gained 100 pounds like Andy Reid. Andy Reid knows he's a fat dude. And he has Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey, so.
All right, settle down, Portnoy. Settle down.
I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid is a goat. I love it. He's just fat.
Roquan Smith signed to a five-year, $100 million deal.
All right. Oh, let me roll my sleeve up. Let me roll my sleeve up.
Oh, sheesh. All right, now we both got the sleeves rolled up.
All right. Roquan Smith signs a mega deal. Great, grand, wonderful. There's another guy who wants to make a deal. He's not playing this weekend. Oh, what does that mean? You're
Who could that be?
Oh, so this opens the door, dude. I've been talking about this all year. I get it. The guy's knee is swollen. The guy's ankle is swollen.
I thought this wasn't a Steelers show, brother.
No. But you brought this up. And the man is holding up a sign after he beats the Buccaneers. Pay the man. Pay the man. Pay the man. Pay the man. This is good for you, by the way. Pay the man. And he says, oh, I didn't know what the sign said. Motherfucker, you Stevie Wonder, you knew what the sign said. You put it in their faces. And guess what? Now you're going to be a New York Jet. Now you're going to probably be a Colt. Now you're going to probably be a Raider. And guess what? I'm going to have to delete tweets. I got to delete tweets.
I got to go back.
You sicko. I'm going to have to call you a good quarterback. You sicko. You sick fucks. You Ravens. You fucking you know how easy it was to hate on Flacco? It's so hard to hate on this guy. So easy to hate on Flacco. Hard to hate Lamar.
You were in a hard position on this past Sunday, too, weren't you?
With what? The Bengals
you had
and
to
them?
cheer for Flacco.
Oh, we'll get to that. But anyways.
All right,
Lamar,
finish up your little rant about
Roquan, well, here, case in point, Roquan, well-deserved, but now this puts the Ravens in a bind. I can't wait to see this all unfold. It's going to be awesome for me entirely. Now, how the Steelers...
I don't know if it will be awesome. I'm concerned for you.
No, it's great, because guess what? It's a win-win. He gets paid millions and millions of fucking dollars. They're not going to sign anybody else. Like, they can't get another... What, did they get DeAndre Hopkins on the cheap? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Go next. Fuck out of here.
I'm praying for you, brother. I'm praying.
There's only one team I'm worried about now. There's only one team I give a fuck about. Like, we own their asses. The Ravens are not a threat anymore. The Bengals are more of a threat than the Ravens. And the Bengals...
Relax.
I'm just saying.
Relax.
Who's going to play? Huntley? You better get Joe Flacco back in there. Jesus.
Lamar still hasn't reached his peak yet. Relax.
Oh, he's going to reach his peak. And when he does, he ain't going to be a Raven. And I can tweet about it. And I can love it. I can love it again.
J.J. Watt's last game, one of the historic players. Yep.
Top 5. I put him at top 5 defensive player all time. Love JJ.
Mount Rushmore level? Is he Mount Rushmore though? Is he 5?
He's probably 4.
Mount Rushmore.
He's probably the 4th, but the 5 I had were pretty. I mean, they're 5.
Hit us with it.
Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, him. No particular order, by the way. Dion, and I think I put who did I put? Oh, I think I put Aaron Donald. That's who I put. Those were the 5.
I think there's somebody missing, but sure.
Who?
What do you mean who?
Who? My guy or your guy?
My guy.
You have a guy?
I got a guy.
Who's the guy?
Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. I don't know why he continues to get disrespected and continues to
No. See. You disrespect your fan base.
I don't want to hear the whole argument.
Your organization disrespected him more than anybody could ever disrespect him. You guys made him a Macy's fucking mannequin as a statue. Macy's mannequin.
Don't let me into that. Don't let me into that shit.
I love the guy. Listen, I would never say Ed Reed is better than Troy Palmer. Never. Ever. But there's one guy I will always say, hey, you know what? If he played, he will be better than Troy Palmer. That's Sean Taylor. So don't ever come at me with that shit when you're over there with a Macy's mannequin with a 21 in the middle of the goddamn stadium. You sick fuck.
Sean Taylor was better than Troy Polamalu. There's no doubt there. But
now, it's not a doubt. It's a debate. It's not a doubt. Don't start with me.
No, there's no doubt there. But there's absolutely no doubt that
Macy's mannequin. You call it? We're probably gonna give Troy Polamalu a nice statue. You're over there giving him Macy's mannequins. Who's next? Who's next?
JJ Watt, great career, and you know what? It's so crazy because our final takes on our team season. I'll go fucking first. All
right. Hold on. Okay, let's just set this up. I think we should do 2 minutes each on the other person's season, and then the rant.
Okay, I like that. Okay, well, let's. I don't want to. You need to set the clock because if I get out of scope, my whole phone crashes.
Okay, hold on. Let me put a timer.
It's a hot show. I'm sweating out here, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you. Okay. All right, right now it's 4:25. Ready, go. Okay. So me personally, I think what we saw with the Commanders is what I thought we see with the Commanders. So a very nice defense.
One interruption?
No interruptions, because you're going to say it in your rant.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. What I saw from them is resilience. A lot of different
interruption.
That didn't count.
What about that?
Relaxed. Their defense came through. I think their defense did absolutely fine. I think they found their way somewhere in the season. St. Juice actually became better than I thought he was. The front seven was better. Chase Young came in the later half of the season, really bolstered that defense. The run game. I mean, we all talked about what happened with Gibson. Is Gibson this? Is Gibson that? He turned out to be a very good pass-catching back. Brian Robinson, great story. Came back from the bullet room, did great. Terry McLaurin, if he had a quarterback, top 7, top 10 wide receiver, without question. Curtis Samuels, Jahan Dotson looking great. I mean, we all knew it was going to come down to the quarterback. It went from Wentz to Heineke to Wentz again to Sam Howell. I mean, really, you guys are – I mean, let's be honest. Ron Rivera said it, and I think it's true. What are the difference between the 3 divisional teams and you guys? Quarterback. He said it like an asshole, but it's true. Once you get a quarterback, you're going to be fine. Offensive line was full of injuries, whatever. I mean, typically being that close and you guys being where you needed to be, I think you guys did – you surpassed some people. I mean, some people had higher expectations because of Wentz, but that's it. I think you guys did fine. Now you can crush whatever you want to crush.
Carson Wentz started the season out at what, dude? What did Carson Wentz start the season out as? Do you know?
No.
I'd be happy to tell you. He started out the season 1-4.
Okay.
Taylor Heineke then went on for the next 10 starts, 6-3-1.
Winning quarterback.
Winning quarterback, far and above 500. That's about bad math off the top of my head. That is actually no. That's exactly a 60% winning ratio. Not hard math at all.
Not hard math
at all.
Yep.
60%.
Shout out Mr. Gresh. Shout out Mrs. Gresh.
Love it. Yeah, big shout out. Big shout out. Never had her, but big shout out Mrs. House. Fuck all the people that got her removed as swim coach. You guys can go to hell and die, you little prissy bastards. With that being said, 60% winning. There was a game after our bye week, week 15. We faced the Giants. I don't believe I had a chance to go off about this. I'm going to make this super duper brief. Terry once, Terry twice, check the line. Terry gets called for a penalty. We get a touchdown that gets called back. We don't win that game. Next week, we look great that first half against the 49ers. We do. Did we not look great against that first half against the 49ers?
You guys did fine. I mean, you guys kept it in there.
We kept it in there against arguably one of the top 3 Super Bowl contenders right now. Definitely considered the favorite in the NFC or the NFC right now. With all that being said, that second half was abysmal. The defense, which was not getting a lot of focus, did not adjust when they said, hey, the middle's wide open. Let's just chuck it to Georgie Kittle the whole time. And that they didn't adjust to that. They didn't adjust that the whole fucking second half. It was just chuck it to Georgie, boom, touchdown, and not once did the defense adjust during those 3 touchdowns that occurred. Taylor made 2 bad plays. One, I would argue, not even really on him. 2 bad plays. And then, all of a sudden, the eagle comes knocking. Ron Rivera says, "Oh, that's it. That's all I need. Pull the plug. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna allow it to go to the players. We're gonna go ahead and that's who's gonna decide." No, they fucking didn't. Don't tell me that fucking bullshit. You wanted Carson Wentz out on that field. Whether it was a saving job because Dan called in from the fucking skies or from fucking the Isles of Versailles and called him and said, "Hey, listen, put in my $20 million quarterback and he's going to win the playoffs." And then we both look good. We have enough excuse for the 1 or 2 bad plays Wentz or Heineke made, despite the 60% winning percentage. And it would have been higher if we didn't get fucked over by the rest, which I still say Goodell called in and said, "Hey, Snyder's been giving me a hard time. Call Terry on this flag. I can't have him in the playoffs. This will pretty much guarantee they're out." Okay? All that being said, you put in Carson. Obviously, Carson does fucking terrible. We lose to the goddamn Browns, which Heineke would have won that game. And then this is what I mean by making sure that leash doesn't get too far. Ron Rivera gets on the stand, dude, and says, "I did not know we could be eliminated."
All right.
I don't
okay. No, I don't get an interruption. Okay, you have 2 more minutes. Go ahead.
Excellent. So we get 4 minutes to rant, and we get 2 minutes to speak on each other's opposing teams. With that being said,
no, it's 4. I gave you 5 minutes. You started at 4:27, 3:31.
So that's 4 minutes.
All right, make it a 5-minute.
Okay, I'm almost wrapped up here. All right, you're gonna go on about 20 minutes about the Steelers anyway. So, all right. So,
no, I'm not actually. I will keep it. Let's see. It depends.
But when you go, and I want your opinion on this. When you go up to the stand as a head coach of a team, and you say, "I did not know we could be eliminated from the ultimate fucking goal," that is unforgivable. Completely disrespectful to the team you're running. Your heart's not in it anymore. You don't give a shit. But to what you said earlier, he's not going to be fired. He is not going to be fired. Cut off the head of Scotty Turner. Our offense wasn't working. Blah, blah, blah. That's because you brought in Carson Wentz. And let's be honest, I love Taylor to death, but there's nobody that wants to come play for your franchise because of the stat and the status that you have taken it to and the respect that we have amongst the rest of the league. That's 0. That's why no quarterback wants to come play here. We find some Jim of a quarterback, rough Jim from Norfolk, 757 strong, baby, that does a decent job, and you just trample it all over with a $20 million mistake who was fucking – everybody knew he was dead weight the moment – I mean, everyone knew he was dead weight 3 years ago. And you go ahead and you try to save your own ego, you try to save Dan's ego, and you put – fucking Wentz in, you blow the playoffs, and then disrespect the whole franchise base once again. I listen. I'm more pissed off than usual, dude, because you know me. I'm the most pessimistic when it comes to this team. Am I not? What game are you watching? Get off the midday basketball game.
Yes, you're pessimistic.
I am very pessimistic when it comes to this team. I had hope. I was excited. We looked good. The defense looked excellent. Like you said, Terry was going ahead, and he's moving in that top 5 wide receiver conversation, in my opinion. Curtis was being utilized like we always wanted him to. The run game was, arguably top 5 in the league at certain points. We looked fucking great. And, yes, that defense, St. Jude's coming out as the star. You had, the whole defensive line really working together. Whatever, say what you will about Chase. I don't think he should have came back this season. That's a different conversation. I don't know what to do anymore. It makes me want to go, and I joke about this all the time, but I might as well start a fucking bird watching crew. I might as well start a book reading club. I might as well go ahead and figure out and buy a whole new toilet and get into bidets because I fucking don't know what to do anymore. That's it. There's my 10-minute rant. Go ahead and talk about the fucking Steelers for an hour, whatever you got to do, and we'll call it a goddamn show.
I won't talk about it. I mean, I'm satisfied by this season.
What do you think of, real quick? What do you think of him not knowing that they could be eliminated from the playoffs?
That's what I was going to ask. So that's what I was going to ask. Do you think he said that like sarcastically? Like I felt like it was sarcastically. It wasn't like
I watched that clip so many times. It was not. It was genuine in my opinion.
Okay, if it was genuine, then I 100% agree with you. Then he's an idiot, 100%. Then that's where where I lie. If it was true, then yes. If it's being sarcastic, fine. Okay, he's an idiot. I agree.
Go watch that clip again.
I will watch it again because I thought it was sarcastic. But I guess if it wasn't, he's an idiot. I 100% agree.
His heart's not in it anymore. He doesn't care anymore.
No, how can you when Carson Wentz sucks? Like you put your eggs in that basket. I mean, it happens. I mean, it's not like I think Carson Wentz was going to be a world beater, but no, the dude was a game away from taking the Colts to the playoffs, and I thought at least with the team you guys had, you guys would go to the playoffs as a 7th seed, 6th seed, and see what happens. When he first, like in the week 1, obviously, I agree with the whole Heineke thing. Like Heineke should have been the starter for the last 2 games after that 49ers game. 49ers game happens. It happens.
Too. I give love to Hal. That was great.
Hal was good. I think you're gonna, and here's the problem. I think you're gonna roll with Hal next year, and that's what's gonna happen. And you're gonna see what happens. Anyways, all right. Do you want to do?
I'm fine with rolling with Hal next year.
There you go.
My quick 2 minutes on the Steelers probably won't even be that long. Listen, like you said earlier in the show, I think you guys should have started Kenny from week 1. I think Kenny is clearly, those meaty hands are doing something great. They did great for Pitt, and now they're doing great for Pittsburgh. I mean, he's going to be with you guys, I think, for quite some time. I think he will develop into a franchise quarterback that you'll be happy with. That is my personal opinion. Yes, it may still be a little bit earlier to completely call that, but Kenny has this sort of confidence that drives the team forward despite being in Matt Canada's offensive system, which did not change throughout the whole season. Kenny just got a little bit better. It continued to be screens. It continued to be runs up the middle. It continued to be things that make you want to bang your head against the fucking wall. That I understand everything with you and your Steelers. Defense looked good. Looked at certain times it was a little inconsistent. I think you'd agree with me on that earlier in the season for sure, where it just didn't look like this was the Steelers defense that I know and love. Flores got that crew together pretty goddamn well. I was really happy with where they ended up. Listen, TJ was dealing with some injuries all season, still looked good those last couple games of the season. He is your leader going forward. Obviously, I would argue that when it's all said and done with his career, he's going to be on that Mount Rushmore that we mentioned earlier. That's how, I mean, it's plain and simple on the wall. I think his career will be up there with his brother, if not surpassed. And he showed that through mental toughness this year, and he's shown that through past seasons. Overall, it was kind of the same Steelers team that it's always been, though, right, Nude? It was the same Steelers team that we've seen for the last couple seasons, pretty flat, frustratingly so on offense. Bet the unders on the Steelers game. Defense looked like a respectable defense going forward. I think next season you guys will make the playoffs. I think this is a scary threat. I think that you're dumb to sleep on the Ravens. Best of luck to you. You know what? And I was those last 2 weeks. I was cheering hard for our steel curtain. For our steel curtain. I was cheering. I was on my knees with that second to last game when Kenny pulled it out, and then you guys were still alive. Hey, did I not text you? We're still alive. Don't give me that finger. I was on your side. I said, we're still alive. There's still a chance.
I said no interruptions. So go ahead.
You said say no interruptions. With that being said, I started at 4:36. It's now 4:38. Let's I know you can get something at 5:30, but you're probably going until about 6. So I do have something at 7.
Okay.
So let's keep it.
I'm not gonna.
under 2.5 hours.
It's gonna be easy. Like to point out certain things. I mean, obviously Kenny Pickett not starting probably at the beginning of the season would have been better. I think if we had him and TJ. TJ not
Quarterback
being there
you did
for
not
most.
want.
TJ?
No, the quarterback you did not want.
Kenny Pickett. Oh no, I did not know what to expect. Okay, that's what I said. We didn't trade up for him. That we didn't do that. Great. We got him where we were. Fine. That's what I said.
Go
Mitch
back and
sucked.
look at the tapes. You did not want Kenny Pickett.
You can look it up. I said, listen, it's fine. I said
I did the
he's
show
going to
with
be.
you. I know what you said.
No, you weren't. I mean, again, this is interruptions, and I'm telling you, you interrupted.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So TJ gets hurt, and he's the most valuable player on our team. Our defense, like you said, didn't look right when he left. Highsmith came on late. I mean, in a big way this season. I'm excited to see what him and TJ do next year. Cam Hayward, double-digit sacks again. Minka is still doing Minka things. Really, the only problems we have right now is cornerback. I think we really need to find a true number one. I like Levi Wallace. I like Sutton. We just need to find that. Our defensive coordinator, he is what he is. He's not the best, but I think Flores should take over, but that's remains to be seen. Mitch started off the season. I mean, I'm looking at the games. I mean, there are 4 games. We win those games, we're in the playoffs. I mean, we lost the 3 to the Patriots. We lost 4 to the Jets. Kenny's start because he came in the halftime. Dolphins, it was 10-6 for 3 quarters, and we lost. The Ravens
that over
game
barely hit too. It did not look like it was hitting. That was a good day.
And the Ravens game where Lamar was out, then Kenny started, got out, then it was Mitch. Mitch threw 3 interceptions. We lost by 2. We win any of those games, we're in the playoffs. Now, why am I not upset? A lot of people are going to be like, Michael, you should be upset. You guys didn't make the playoffs. No, man. I mean, 2-6 to 9-8 just shows how good Tomlin is. Shows how good this team is going to be. I mean, let's not forget the offense is Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, Najee, Pat Freiermuth. Those 4 guys are way under 25 years old, and they're just getting started.
Yep.
So we fixed the offensive line. We fixed the corners, the defense, and, man, please, for the love of God, fix the special teams. Get that special teams coordinator out of there. I'm done watching guys starting from the 30. Like, for the love of God, if they're going to bring it out, make them pay. And that's the one coordinator that is, I mean, he's the second worst coordinator on our team. Now, let's get to the meat and bones of this shit. I'm looking at these games, man.
Don't forget to breathe during the
rain.
rain.
Literally, dude, we're scoring an average of 18 points. Matt Canada, dude, if you just fucking, just use your brain. 3rd and 1 and you're doing a sweep, to Gunnar Ochetsky when you have Derek Watt and Najee Harris who are over 230. What the fuck are you doing? That's
Don't
just
forget to put space in between
easy.
your words.
I'm just saying, man. Matt Canada, dude. It's been 4 days. It's 4 days long enough. Fire him. Make Mike Sullivan the fucking offensive coordinator. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Just make sure it's not Matt Canada.
Now you're good with Mikey.
No, I'm just sick of this shit. I'm
He's
looking
gonna leave
at
his
these
other
scores.
part-time job.
How are you gonna play the Atlanta Falcons and only score 19 points? How are you gonna play the fucking the Raiders and only score 13 points? What? I get it. The Bills. You're not supposed to lose to the Bills 38-3. You're gonna lose to the Bills, sure, but at least put up a fucking fight. Don't go in there being pussies. That's all I'm saying. Now, to the point of this weekend. Great. I mean, we had a shot. It came down to Joe Flacco.
Space. Keep going. You're in a beautiful round.
Joe Flacco, he is what he is. I mean, like I said, last year a lot of things had to break our way to make it. We made it. Whatever. This year it was going to be hard.
Can you talk about that? Can you talk about your emotions of that Sunday? And I hate to interrupt your rant, but I really just want to hear your emotions of cheering.
No, I mean it's a typical. It was like last year, literally. Watched the entire.
You didn't cheer for Joe Flacco last year.
I mean, Joe Flacco wasn't in our scenario. Why would I root for Joe Flacco?
You were rooting for Joe Flacco this past Sunday.
Yeah, I had to. Literally, my hands were cuffed.
How'd it feel
last year, you know who I had to root for last year? Fucking Trevor Lawrence when he had that sicko Urban Meyer, and
that's whatever.
And I had to root for a non-tie that almost became a tie, and that was
gone by then.
Stressful, so stressful. Now, to this weekend, I mean, I knew that I hate to, and I'm going to say it like this. Bills were going to win no matter what. I mean, that's an emotional game against the Patriots. They were going to win. I mean, that whole thing with the 2 kickoff returns and it's the 3 years, 3 months, that's fucking nuts. And that just shows how the universe is crazy. Us destroying the Browns.
What is the odds of all that lining up? That's
that's insane. Insane.
Yeah.
And you have us beating the Browns. Now it came down to beating Skylar Thompson with Joe Flacco. I mean, it's just
By the
not
way,
how it works.
game of the year.
I mean, you can go, you can transition to that. I'm just saying, I'm happy with what happened. I'm just happy with, unlike you, I'm happy with what happened this year. Please don't fuck up the draft. We have 2 first-round picks, by the way.
You didn't have Mike Tomlin go up to the fucking stand and say, "Oh, we were eliminated. I didn't know if we won and the Bills won and the Dolphins lost. We were in the
no." But Tomlin will say stupid shit like, "We have a barn and we're gonna paint it red," and you don't understand what he's saying. I think it's better to do it.
Say that. I got Ron Rivera say that.
What he's saying is like, we don't get eliminated. We multiply. We don't get eliminated, we multiply. That was his press conference after the Ravens game. Anyways, we do
not as bad as forgetting you could have been eliminated.
We have 2 first-round picks, thanks to the Dolphins being idiots and forfeiting their pick, and the Bears being absolute trash. And now it's the 32nd pick instead of the 33rd pick. So we hit on those 2 picks, hopefully in a corner and an offensive lineman. We're back in this. I'm worried about the Bengals. Obviously, Bengals are the biggest bad dogs in the division with Burrow. We'll see what the Ravens do with Lamar. All in all, very excited for next season.
It's 6:30. It's 6:30. You started this round at 4:30.
Stop lying. Go ahead. Plus, you interrupted me twice, 3 times. You interrupted me like 3 times.
I know. I'm a dickhead. All right.
Yeah. Games of the week. Go. You already said your game of the week. You're the
no joke of the show just for me and Nude. All right. So, games of the week, surprise, disappointment, and games of the week. Final week of the regular season. First up, I will go. I'm going to make this pretty quick. We'll speed through these. Surprise is Cowboys in his first Commanders. We didn't do our teams all season. But now since we just did kind of our final takes, I thought I'd include a pretty good win for Sam Howell's debut with the Commanders. He looked great. He made smart decisions. Had a couple rookie mistakes here and there, but overall I was really impressed. Absolutely nothing better than flatlining the Cowboys on the last game of the season. You can say what you will, but they had their starters in from the jump till about midway through the 4th. So, yeah, we could have won that game 40-6. It just kind of speaks to volumes of, I think really the impact that Wentz had on that offense, and as well as Heineke too. It just speaks volumes about that. But more focused on Sam Howell, and the game that he had was pretty fucking incredible. Again, we looked fantastic. We fucking went ahead, bent them over, and they begged. They said, "Please, sir, no more." Again, could have been 40-6. Solid game. Next up, disappointment. Pat, and chime in if you have anything new. Disappointment.
No, I'm going to just say one thing. I enjoyed his little speech after saying we're going to roll him next year. Great confidence. You like to see that from a young guy, especially a guy like Sam Howell. So.
Yeah, I was really happy you mentioned that because I completely forgot about that. But that got me fucking fired up for sure. Dude has a fucking cannon on him too, just like he did at UNC. So not much has changed. Nude's about to take a pee for everybody that's not watching on YouTube. Hopefully you get that poop out after we're done recording here. He was a little backed up earlier, so let's pray for our boy. Next up, disappointment: Packers versus Lions. Listen, everybody can hate on me all you want. Say what you will, but there was a part of me that wanted to see Aaron Rodgers do it despite all the hate and it looking like the season was completely done and over, and he was done and over at 4-8. I think we may get a Jordan Love Packers season next year, and I think Aaron may be going elsewhere. There's rumors of that. Who knows? But I did kind of just, part of me wanted to see Aaron be the villain once again. Any chime in there, Nude? Does the tinkle do? You know what? It's a little disrespectful because there's several times on this podcast where I've tried to get you to show your stream and the strength of your stream, and it clearly shows how beta you are, that you're intimidated and you're fearful.
No, just not
trying
to get canceled. Not trying to get canceled for my meaty clackers.
Listen, there's nothing cancelable about that. Just showing you're an out.
First
or
time,
you're a beta, depending on your stream, and then maybe
two facts for you. The top 3 teams in playoff win history since the Super Bowl era, not in it since the year 2000. Patriots, Steelers, Packers. This is the first time since 2000 those 2 teams will not be in it. I wanted Rodgers to kind of do it too. It'd be cool as shit. But hey, he's probably going to be a Jet or a Titan or some shit. So we'll see.
That's the way it's looking for, and I enjoyed that new fun fact of the podcast. Next up, we got game of the week. Chargers
You already did it.
Broncos.
You already did it.
I already did game of the week.
You're doing a double because you did the Commanders game.
That was a surprise. That was a surprise.
I'm glad I'm listening.
I'll often tell you on the show too. You got two ears. Use them both. All you gotta do is listen.
I'm thinking about titties right now. So go ahead.
Or you're trying to get that shit out of you, or whatever women's college basketball game you're watching in the background while we're recording.
I'm just gonna Google hot gym chicks while you're doing this.
And didn't you just say you were worried about being canceled?
I didn't say anything bad.
I don't want to be canceled for my piss stream, but let's look up some titties while you're talking about game of the week.
Go ahead.
Chargers versus Broncos. It was just a good game. I thought it was fucking hilarious that Russell had his best game when it didn't matter fucking all. Shout out Jerry Rosenberg. Wait, great debut. You did your well, I mean, I guess it was his third game. It was his third game. Way to go, Jerry. He had the Broncos ready to ride. I was riding for Broncos country. It just shows why you'll see here in our playoff predictions why the Chargers are going to get the shit kicked out of them. To Nude's point also earlier in the show, why he thinks Stanley's going to get. All right, I had to pause. Even I can't show restraint like that. Nude is certainly showing me female gym photos, and I'm disrespecting them for their physique and the respect of their body. Clearly hard.
I'm admiring. I'm just admiring. Nothing bad. I'm not here to say anything. Huh?
I don't know why they don't get paid equally when they can go ahead and work that hard to create masterpieces like that. Shout out to women everywhere. Shout out to you chunky women. You know what? You're masterpieces too. We don't forget about you. We did almost want to forget about the Broncos and toss them aside and forget they exist as a team, but I just thought it was kind of funny. Russell, 3 touchdowns, did his thing. Jerry Jeudy, 5 receptions, 128 yards, three carries for 59 yards. That's a fucking joke, man. That's my game of the week. As always, just like everything else in my life, it's a bit of a bit, but way to go, Russ. Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride. All right, my turn. I texted to you for the first time ever, so I don't even have to forget.
I know you did. You did. Here, I got you.
For a long time.
You kind of had the games that were really. I kind of did half bits, or I wanted to talk about my team. Oh shit, dude! I'm gonna lose you. I might lose you. Be careful.
See ya.
Oh wait, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I exited the app. Am I here?
Did you fix your internet?
No.
You're still frozen, but I can hear you. So do no camera and then camera again.
No, we back.
No. Camera and camera again. Trust me.
It won't even let me pull that up, dude.
What the fuck? It's gonna be just the Joe face that is really crazy right now. It's actually very funny.
Beautiful. We'll stick with that. Stick with the frozen face. Do your thing. I think I'm almost back.
One more time. Click it again.
And boom. Clap on. Clap off. The clapper. Am I there?
You turn it on?
Wait. Clap on. Clap off. Moving so
right, while he's fixing that, while he's trying to fix that.
Go ahead and do your thing. That's what happened. By the way, I literally just got off the site to look at the text, and that's what happened. It completely just started to crash. Go ahead, do your thing. I think I'm going to come back.
All right, so my surprise of the week was Jags-Titans. The reason why I put it in here is because, I mean, obviously it's the AFC Championship game, South Championship game. You didn't really think the Titans were going to be in this situation. Wrong. You didn't think the Jaguars were going to be in this situation. Wrong. They both became in this situation because one team got hot and the one team got very cold quickly. And
how's Kareem doing?
Not good. Let's just say that.
He's still with us.
Was not. Oh, he's back.
Let's go. All right, no more acting out. Yeah.
Malik Willis turned out to be what I thought he was going to be. A piece of shit. And that thank God that came to fruition.
Hey, chill. His story's not over yet. Relax.
We'll see.
Relax.
The reason why I put this as a surprise.
You know how I feel when we go after that Hugh Freeze offense and the Liberty Flames.
It's just surprising because of what the Jaguars have done. I mean, they went from worst to first. I mean, Doug Peterson really changed the culture of that team. They were in their house, yes. But, I mean, the Titans had everything against them to say, hey, we're going to win this game. Jags were like, oh, maybe we're a year away. Nope, we're going to the playoffs. We're going to host a playoff game. Congrats to the Jaguars. I commend them for after that sicko Urban Meyer, what he did. Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, Sean Conn, like that whole organization. Great win. Awesome. Now, to my disappointment of the week, any chime-ins?
No, I already said my piece. I just want to make sure Kareem was still alive.
Yep. Jets Dolphins. I mean, it disappointed me in millions of different ways. But if you were subject to that game because you don't have NFL Sunday ticket and you live in the great state of New York, New Jersey, in Miami, you guys had to watch Skylar Thompson against
Miami
Flacco.
State.
There's your chime-in. City, Miami, Florida. Enjoy
You're
yourself.
counting that as my chime-in? Yeah, right. Buddy.
Yeah. So
drink some fucking Red Bull and get on your shit, brother.
6-9, not really a score you want to see. You thought it was a baseball score. Congratulations, you guys broke my heart, and that was the worst game I ever watched. Obviously, game of the week.
Disagree, but that's fine.
Game of the week because I have a heart. It's
Two
Bills
top
Patriots.
talents in the league going at it. Two
My
battles of the mind and Skylar
game of the week
Thompson
because I have
Flacco.
a heart and I respect the brand. Damar, they won that game for you, my man. And Naheem Hines going in 2 touchdowns, absolutely obliterating the Patriots. No hope for the Patriots to win it. Then wasn't worried about that game at all. Bills look like they're ready to ride.
The thing was fucking wild.
I mean, that would bring me to tears too. Like it brought Josh Allen to tears. That brought me to tears too. I was like, that's crazy. Like
the Damar,
and
oh
they
my
got
fucking
2.
God tweet was great when that happened.
2. And the guy FaceTiming everyone. Wow. But I'm rooting for the Bills. I hate to say it. I'm rooting for the Bills. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. And I hope they do because I have buddies in Buffalo.
Don't feel that way though.
Huh?
I mean, we want them to, but we don't feel they will.
Yeah, let's just say that. If they ruin my bracket, fine. We can get into the brackets, but Wings, my buddy, Josh Allen, fuck you, Gary. Let's rock. Playoff time.
That was really a great game. It was probably easily the most inspirational game. It was the most hypey game of the year. Broncos country, let's ride. Playoff brackets. That's right. Every single year of the podcast, we have done a playoff bracket in which a punishment occurs. The first year, Joey got a football to the balls and had to eat a flatliner. The next year, we went ahead and, of course, we had to drink a disgusting shot, which never occurred because we're both way too busy motherfuckers. And you know what? Fuck that. Finally, this year, we have decided we are just going to do $100 straight up, ladies and gentlemen. Ride our picks. You know you should ride mine. Don't forget some of the hot predictions that I've had in years past. I did have the Bengals in the Super Bowl last year. Nobody else did. I did have the Jaguars going all the way to the AFC Championship game the first year doing this podcast. So I think that was that year. Or no, that was the Dolphins. It was the Jaguars year. We'll say it was
there you go. Okay.
With that being said, playoff brackets are back. Nude, straight up 100 this year. We're keeping it simple. Punishments are outdated. They're old. They're stale. They're boring. We don't need them. Who cares? Who you got? Who's winning it all? Who does Nude see as the victor hosting the trophy?
All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go. I'm gonna do my full bracket, then you can do yours. So I have the Jaguars over the Chargers. I have the Bengals over the Ravens. Bills over the Dolphins. Many reasons why. For the Bengals and the Bills, they're playing backup quarterbacks. They should be okay. Jags,
I don't think
the
you
home
really
field
need to explain the Bills Dolphins and why.
No. Cowboys take an L to the Buccaneers. Obviously, Dak sucks. We both hate Dak. Giants shocked the world.
Not
the
off
Vikings.
The field. I will say he's a great person off the field. His brother, all that good stuff, and what he does for the community. But on the field, fuck him.
Yep. 49ers keep it on the roll. They keep going. Now we're in the divisional playoffs. Jags against the Chiefs. Chiefs roll them. Bengals, Bills. I mean, that one is going to be a great game. Bills beat the Bengals. They get their rematch against the Chiefs. And then we have on the other side, Giants lose in a horrific fashion to the Eagles. And the 49ers show Tom Brady what's good, and the 49ers go. Now, I wanted to put the 49ers to beat the Eagles, but Brock Purdy is probably going to play. Eagles get to great Arizona where they're going to face Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Love Josh Allen, love the Bills. The story has to end in Atlanta where they're going to have that neutral site. And the Chiefs beat the Eagles because I think Patrick Mahomes does it once more. Put the second ring on his finger. He shows the world he doesn't need Tyreek Hill. Fat Andy. Let's go Chiefs.
You're wrong. Not bad. I mean, both 1 seeds. Classic you, but that's fine.
Hey, man, Brock Purdy. You blame Brock Purdy. Blame Brock Purdy.
Yeah, you go on Wake Up every single morning and give the same fucking takes to Mike.
Blame Brock Purdy. That's all I got to say. Did I put the number one and number two?
We're pretty much on the same page.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuck you. Go.
With that being said, we're pretty much on the same page. I think the death of Brock Purdy is going to happen as well. Real quick check-in, though. Year 2, I won, right? Year 1, you won. Year 2, I won, and then you never carried out your punishment. Is that correct?
No, you won year 2, but we did something where you had to do a double bet. I had to do a double, or you had to do a double thing.
Oh,
and I didn't have to do anything. So we did a double or nothing, and you lost.
Oh, you mean I put myself in a position where I had already won but fucked myself more?
Yep.
Sounds like Joe. All right, so with that being said, ours is pretty identical, so I'm going to just run through this. There's a couple differences here that's going to make or break who gets that Hyundai. So, Chargers versus Jags. Yeah, I agree with Newt on this. I mean, if you watch that Broncos game, the Chargers look disheartened. Jaguars don't. They look fired up and ready to go. You got to go with a team that's rolling with hot chemistry. It's Jags here. Next up, Bengals. Again, hot team versus cold team playing backup quarterback, as Newt mentioned. Same deal with the Bills. And I think that emotional ride is going to continue to go for them. And even if they didn't have that, they're still the Bills. With that being said, we'll go ahead and go over to the NFC. Cowboys are going to get fucking absolutely murdered. I'm saying go ahead and put an alternate spread for the Bucks. If you're feeling conservative, do 40. If you're feeling ballsy, do -50. But it's going to be a TCU Georgia situation for sure. Next up, we're going to go ahead and go with the Giants. Same here with Nude. Playoff Kirk Cousins. It's pretty simple. He shrivels up and becomes a little boy. Seahawks, you're right. It was beautiful. It was a little Cinderella story. Unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and have to write you off. Gino, you don't have to write back. I know you don't like to do that anyway. We're going to go ahead and go divisional rounds now. Obviously, Chiefs are going to go ahead and kick the shit out of the Jags. Sorry, Trevor. I think you will be around the playoffs, though, for most of your career. With that being said, Bills, Bengals. This is where me and Nude differ. Listen, the Bills are going to be, again, not only they are the Bills, they're going to continue to ride the season for Damar, but I just think, again, the Bengals are probably the hottest team, in my opinion, right now. I would say the 49ers, if Brock Purdy wasn't at the helm there. And I think they're going to go ahead and advance to the AFC Championship game. Who's going to advance with the Chiefs? Advancing the NFC Championship game is going to be the Eagles and the 49ers. So pretty much eerily similar here for me and Nude, except for the Chiefs are going to go ahead and lose the AFC Championship to the Bengals once again. And that will be going ahead, and the Bengals will be in the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, Brock Purdy. Sorry, you just weren't built for that NFC Championship type of ride, my son. With that being said, Bengals, Eagles, the final score will be Bengals 35, Eagles 27. Bengals are hoisting the trophy. Let the era of Joe continue.
Okay, my bad. I didn't give a score either. So, Chiefs, Eagles, high scoring game. I'm actually going to say 45-35. So,
would that be the highest scoring game in Super Bowl history?
Huh?
Would that be the highest scoring game in Super Bowl history? It'd be up there.
Let me see. Highest
45
score in Super Bowl.
Is that what we did the second year? Is where I said something with the score, or it had to be something
combined. It was a combined 55. So yeah, it will way surpass the highest scoring Super Bowl, and it was the Broncos and the 49ers, two legends away Montana. I mean, we could be watching exactly the same thing. Hurts, Mahomes, 45-35, no stopping both of them. I hope it's Bengals Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. That'd be wild to see that. But any final words?
Go fuck yourself, Ron Rivera.
Okay.
Don't have anything to do with the
On
playoffs,
that,
go
fuck you.
yourself.
Fuck you, Matt Canada. So thank you guys for rocking with us.
I think those were both great final statements on the playoffs. Both.
Thank you guys for rocking with us. We're ready to rock and roll this new year.
Do we want to do spreads? By the way, I do have that pulled up. I do have game. Quick spreads, or you don't? It's been a long show. Long show.
We'll do it next time. Actually, pick one lock. I'll do my lock. You do your lock.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, my lock is the 49ers spread against the Seahawks. Whatever it is, pound it.
Then I'll go ahead and go whatever the spread is against the Dolphins Bills.
There you go. So there you go. And thank you guys for rocking with us. Shout out to our sponsors, Eyesight Mobile Eyewear Company, the eyesight company that comes to you. Get your glasses, get your sunglasses, get everything you need. Subscribe
Tell
to
them
buy
I'm
them.
gonna need an upgrade soon too. I'm gonna need something new soon. So.
Oh, Joe, where can you find them? Well, we're gonna tag them in our Instagram post and our IG story. Follow them on IG.
And then I just click on it from there, and I can get new glasses.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that simple?
That's simple. They'll come to you.
Why haven't I done that?
I don't know. You should do it.
Why hasn't our listeners done that? They should go do it too.
Do it right now and tell them that the Face of Franchise Boys sent you, as well as Stuck Up Clothing. Finest fashion money can buy. Follow them on their IG as they have their new brands out, their new stuff out. Follow them on their website. Tell them
blowing
we
up
sent
in
you
your
as well.
city. Blowing up in the state of Miami. They're now
Miami, the state of Miami. The Heat
of Miami.
The Heat are balling right now. They're back to back. Hopefully we make it 3 straight tonight, as well
that's how you
as
church yourself. You know you did. I'm going ahead and fade the Heat tonight. I know this episode doesn't come out till tomorrow, but look at the lines right now, and you'll see her. Look at the scores from last night. Heat lost.
No Giannis for the Bucks. So basically, they have chips. All right, they probably will lose because they suck. And Seductions by Jax. Get your hair done, nail done, everything done. Follow her on IG. Tell her the Franchise Boy sent you as well.
Also
she'll get you
opening
right.
something up in the state of Miami.
State of Miami. And then follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all your podcast needs. We are the Four Quarters Radio umbrella, Face of the Franchise. We'll put all our stuff under there. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere you get your podcasts. I am the Pharaoh. That is Little Joe. Stay breezy, stay easy. One love.
How the fuck did you not know you could be eliminated? How the fuck did you not know that?